You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsulias. This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. Enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament, and it ends October 31st. 2025. With me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, I don't even have words. I do. I won't get to them until we get technically into segment one, but I just...
All right, let's discuss. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, hit the bell so you're notified whenever our videos go up. We also have a TikTok account. You can give us a follow over there at LockedOn_Yankees. Coming up on today's show, we preview the rest of the pitching matchups for the series this weekend against the Red Sox. And it's Fan Mail Friday. But first, the Yankees were sloppy. They failed in big moments. They're regressing again. And there's no sense of urgency with this team when they play a team that they're trying to fight for a playoff spot. Why is this, Brian?
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually don't think this loss is as bad as people are making it out to be. Now, the inning with the errors is brutal and not good at all, and kind of gives you nightmares and flashbacks to times past that weren't so great. But I actually did like the resiliency they showed in this game. They came forward. They responded pretty much every time the Red Sox took a lead over them, and the Red Sox played better than the Yankees in this game. They were the better team.
Played bad.
They both didn't play well, but the Red Sox were the better team in this game. I think, not that it's saying much, but Giolito was better than Heel. Heel only gave up one earned run, but really wasn't good throughout this game, was putting runners on base throughout the entire time, and was pretty much done by the fourth inning, even though he got through 5. I just, when I see the response from this team, it showed a little more heart than they've shown over the last month. I feel like if this game was played a month ago, they would have lost this game 6-0. They would have never responded from the original, from the runs the Red Sox scored. Do you feel the same way or no?
No, I don't. And I'm not happy with them at all. Ben Rice gets a triple, right? There's one out in that inning. You have guys coming up behind him. Nothing happens. You have them go down feebly in the 9th inning against Chapman. I know it's Aroldis Chapman, but it's also Aroldis Chapman in 2025, not Aroldis Chapman from 2012.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
How is this guy pitching like this again? I don't understand it. The error that led to the Roman Anthony home run, it's the same stuff every time this team plays someone like the Red Sox, someone like the Dodgers, someone like the Mets. Who do you think you're facing in the playoffs? You're not going to be facing the Rays. You're not going to be facing the Twins. You're not going to be facing the Cardinals. You can't play like this against teams like this. It's just ridiculous. It's one game. They have 3 more to go. Yeah. But this is demoralizing. After the last 10 games that they've had, and especially after the last 2 against Tampa, there's no excuse for this. You're in your home stadium. You can't play like this. I don't understand why they can't. I don't get it. I am so angry with them right now. I was expecting them to win this game. I really was. I wouldn't
call it demoralizing, though. They have a lead over the Red Sox in the wild card. Like, I wouldn't call this loss demoralizing.
But it could lead to them tumbling down the hill like they usually do, because they cannot beat this team this year.
For sure, but I would give them a slight benefit of the doubt coming off of a 5-0 road trip. Like, they did play well the last 2 weeks. They've played really well.
The Red Sox lost 3 in a row coming into this. They should have rolled over them. This is so annoying. This is beyond
they're a good
annoying.
Baseball team. They're a good baseball team. I wouldn't call this loss necessarily as heartbreaking as it seems like you're coming across with it. Again, it's a 4-game series too. It could easily win Saturday's game, and then it changes your entire mindset of, all right, it's 1-1 and we're back at it. I also think Friday's game. Yeah, I also think there's a way to look at this too, where the Yankees' schedule following this series is very, very simple, where the Red Sox one isn't. I think as long as you get out of this series in the Bronx with a split in these 4 games, I think you're okay.
I don't want them to, but it feels like they have that mentality. And I don't want them to have that mentality.
Well, that's a terrible job, and that's a direct reflection on management, which we've discussed obviously.
Yes,
before.
That's why this loss to lead this series off feels bad to me. I don't feel like this is going to be a positive series for them because of the way they lost.
Yeah, I can't, I can't necessarily totally disagree with you, but it is a game by game basis. Like you can't take it was not a well-played game. They didn't pitch well. The Red Sox were the better team. I wouldn't, to the ninth inning thing, I wouldn't blame that whole thing on, oh, you have to be able to hit Aroldis Chapman. He's had, I don't know where this resurgence came from, but he's been the best closer in baseball. He's got a 1.10 ERA. He's been insane.
It's annoying. I don't like it, and he needs to go away. That's all. All right. Let's move on to happier things. It's Fan Mail Friday, and if you're new to the show, I'm not normally this angry. Fan Mail Friday, we do it every week. We have questions from our Locked On Yankees insiders. We will tell you how to do that coming up soon. And we answer questions from our YouTube viewers. So right now, it's the insider's turn, and we start every insider segment with Betty, and this is Betty's question. With Boone and Judge disagreeing publicly in the media regarding the injury, could this be the thing that will precipitate an end to Boone's run with the Yankees, or will they kiss and make up? To me, this was a clear example of how Boone is out of touch and just says whatever his brain or hits his brain at the moment.
Betty, I gotta highly disagree with you here. I think Boone is very calculated with what he says to the media. I think he is all about protecting his players and all about making everyone feel warm and cuddly. I don't think it's off the top of his noggin. I think it's very calculated what he's going to say. And I'll say this: they probably kissed and made up 5 seconds after that quote happened. Boone and Judge are locked at the hip. I don't think it's going to be Judge that gets Boone fired, unfortunately. Yeah. David F says, having spent the week in Vancouver, I've heard it's a great city, by the way, and seen lots of Jays fans. If you could take one player from the Blue Jays right now and give him to the Yankees, who would it be?
George Springer, so the Yankees wouldn't have to face him because he always hits against them. Always.
I'd say Vlad. I mean, I love Ryan.
Not
McMahon.
Right now, not with his hamstring, because I was thinking about that earlier.
Okay, we're saying like in the moment right now?
In the moment right now, yes.
Yeah, I guess Springer's had an unbelievable year for them. So yeah, maybe Springer. That's not a bad one.
Yeah, because that's my thought. If he's on the Yankees, he's not gonna.
Can't hurt him if he's with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Our next question is from Malachi. Actually, there's two things here. We're going to a game in New York for the Detroit series. We're sitting in section 425. Do you know how, if possible, we can get autographs from some of the players? Do you know if we are allowed to walk down to the lower section before the game to try and get one? Also, are either of you going to that Tuesday game? Maybe I can get your autograph.
Thank you, Malachi. I will not be there on Tuesday. I'll be on a flight home on Monday.
No, that Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up is the Nationals. I think the Detroit series is
the next one. Okay, maybe I'll try and get there then, just to meet you, Malachi. We'll see. Section 425. So I do know if you get there for batting practice, they will allow you to walk down to the wall. I don't know how much players give autographs now before regular season games. Right. It's not nearly as common. It's more of a spring training kind of thing. You could certainly try though. You might get a baseball out of it. That's for sure. They will toss baseballs over. I don't know about autographs anymore. That's not really as common of a thing. But I do root you. I am rooting for you, Malachi. I wish you all the luck.
Yeah, I feel like the autograph thing only really happens when they have special guests there before games, Yeah,
or like it's a whole. They also like have these events at like these breweries now where players go and you pay like $60 for an autograph and everything. They don't really give them out for free as much anymore. Yeah.
I had seen a few TikToks of players doing appearances and
Luke
stuff.
Weaver did one recently, and it was like $80 to get his autograph, and that's the exact reaction I had. We're like, I mean, I love Luke Weaver, but are people really paying that? And they are. There's a giant line outside.
Oh yeah, if you're not watching on YouTube, I made a shocked face just in case.
It's great. People are actually paying that though. Like it's. I don't agree with it, but it's wild.
That's wild. Yeah, that's wild. That's the perfect word for it. Wild. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notifications so you know when our videos go up. And if you would like to be part of next week's Fan Mail Friday, you can go to our YouTube channel's page, click on posts. You can leave your question under the Fan Mail Friday post. I put them up every Monday. You can ask us anything, or you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club, where you get top priority and your questions are answered first. The link is in our description. It isn't only for Fan Mail Friday. You get text from us with everything from lineups to roster updates, trades and signings. Sometimes I update during the game. DMs if I'm feeling frisky. And you can text us questions. There's a 14-day free trial. Coming up next, more Fan Mail Friday questions.
Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape ginger and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of golf course favorites to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. And golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape ginger lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the beverage cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the United States. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Master tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. So, Stacey, let's start off Fan Mail Friday's second segment with Matt V. I'm going to combine his question with Debbie's because they were both very similar. Matt V asks, with all the talks of expansion, do you think they'll expand the playoffs to 8 teams per league? To me, that's way too much. Half the league should not be able to make the playoffs. And Debbie asks, so after discussion on expansion, won't there need to be some realignment when those teams have to be assigned to divisions? Do they try to keep the number of teams in a division equalish?
Yes. I agree with Matt V. Half the league making the playoffs is way too much. And we've talked about why this is a bad thing. Because, you know, if you're the 16th team making it into the 16th and the 8th from each, you know what I mean? If you're the lowest one from each league, what is the motivation to really be good? Like, you're really just trying to, if we win 83 games, maybe we can get in. Like, you're not really, I don't know. I don't like that at all. I don't think more teams should make the playoffs.
I see what baseball's doing. They're trying to keep more teams invested and more fan bases invested late in the season. So I get what they're doing. I don't love it, though. Like, I don't think we need teams that have 83 wins playing playoff games.
Right.
But that's what they want. They want more playoff games. They want to sell more tickets. They want to sell more TV rights. We are on our way there. I don't like it, but we are on our way there. I think I will say this because I wasn't really alive when this was happening. I don't understand the era of when we had like 2 or 3 teams making it in the league. That I didn't get at all either. Why was no one allowed in the postseason?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
When the wild card became a thing for the Yankees in '95, everyone freaked out. Like, they're the first. Why was that not a thing originally? Like, there were. If you look at that, and
there weren't as many teams when everything started out, so that makes sense.
But by the time the '90s rolled around, though, there were plenty of teams that they could.
Yeah, I think once, like, Toronto and Seattle, and even in the late '70s, there really should have been some sort of movement for there to be extra teams in the playoffs.
And I'll make this point too, because if everybody talks about the 1980s as the Yankees' dead period and just the worst time to be Yankee fans.
It wasn't.
Look at their records. They were not bad teams in the 80s. They were plenty of years they won 91 games, upper 80s. They were a good team. They just weren't a playoff team. And it bothers me because if the current format existed, they would have made the playoffs almost every year in the 80s.
Yep.
And who knows what happens those years? They can go on crazy runs. They had talent. The whole course of baseball history has changed because Mattingly has way more playoff appearances. Who knows if he carries one of those teams to a World Series, and it's talked about forever. Just so odd that like the playoff structure back then was, nope, we're still going with 4 teams. We're still going with 3 teams. It makes no sense.
Well, one of my favorite things ever was it the San Francisco Giants in '93? They won 103 games. They missed.
What are we doing?
Right. And then the strike happens in '94, and then, hey, the wild card. The Giants were probably like, you couldn't have done this 2 years ago.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Next question is from a new insider, Chris, and this is his first Fan Mail Friday question. I'm from Long Island, living in Washington State, Mariners country. My friends here think I'm crazy that I feel Aaron Boone should be fired, even if that means we don't make the playoffs. I know we will make it, but my question is, Boone safe if we make it, regardless of how far we go? Is Cash safe regardless? I do think we need a new voice in the front office. I'm excited to hear both your thoughts. Love the podcast. Keep the fire going, from Chris 40.
Chris, I'll say this. I think you're spot on. with both things that you said. I think regardless of what happens going forward, Brian Cashman is safe in his job. He's going absolutely nowhere. Yeah. And Aaron Boone, I don't think is going anywhere. I think the only chance that they had of him getting fired is if this team went down in flames and missed the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Like I'm saying, finish the month of September. How many games are they playing in September? 28. If they finish the month of September 8-20, like something just awful and horrendous and miss the postseason, then he loses his job. Other than that, he's got as much security as a Supreme Court justice. Not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Lauren says, Kay has tendies, Wells has burritos. What would be the thing you rate if you traveled with the team? It doesn't have to be food.
French fries.
That's not a bad one.
I would try every type of French fry, whether it's cheese fries, steak fries, meaning fries covered in steak. Like, I would try everything.
I have a theory that I generally run my life by. When I try a new pizzeria, I always get wings with the pizzeria. And my theory is if a pizzeria can do wings well, they generally are a really good pizzeria. And I've been correct with that theory. It holds up. My thing would be I would find local pizzerias and not review pizza. I would review the wings at the pizzeria.
That's funny. I worked at a pizza place that sold wings in college.
And if they do wings well, they do pizza well.
They were Sal Birdland wings. Sal's Birdland was a Rochester company, and we sold wings with their sauce. And have you heard of the garbage plate? That's a famous thing up there in Western New York. Garbage plate is basically what you think it is. It's garbage. So it's like hamburgers, hot dogs, baked beans, macaroni salad. There's like it's just a giant mashup of like everything you can think of in a plate. So gross. Had one once. We'll never do it again. But I had to just to have the upstate New York experience.
I'm glad you got it. I don't think I would entertain that though either. I'm on your side.
All right, our first YouTube question comes from Lupus Notice. Hey, Stacey and Brian, I apologize for my lack of asking questions the past few weeks. All my questions were Boone related, and we all needed less of that in our lives. Wouldn't you agree? Anyhow, as the playoffs approach, I'm seeing Stanton arguably play his best baseball while out in the field. I'm with Brian in saying that the juice is worth the squeeze in Stanton's case. My question is, which player will bring a more dynamic influence in the playoffs, Dominguez or Caballero? The three of us know Bellinger and Grisham should be playing every day, leaving one outfield spot open. P.S. Brian is my spirit animal. I know this to be true because my frustrations about the team seem to be reiterated through his statements. Love this show and let's go Yankees.
Well, I'll say this, Lupus. I don't know if I qualify as an animal, but I do appreciate that I am speaking for you on behalf of this show. That's the whole point of this whole thing. So I really, really do appreciate that compliment. That means a lot. I would agree with you on this sense. Stanton is debatably playing his best baseball as a Yankee right now, excluding last year's postseason. That's how good he's playing. And it was only last year's postseason because it was in the postseason. The juice is worth the squeeze. When I watch him out there, I don't know if you agree, Stacey, I don't see a butcher in the field.
No,
I don't see an elite fielder. He's certainly not outstanding and quick and getting to balls and everything, but he's not a butcher.
No,
he's an average regular outfielder. He's not getting to every ball. He's not diving for balls. He's not throwing you out at home. But he makes the plays and he gets them in reasonable time.
I don't ever want to see him dive for a ball.
Exactly. So yeah. I don't have a problem with the way that he plays. A more dynamic influence in the postseason, I'll say Caballero. And I love Dominguez's game, and I think Dominguez should continue to play every day. And it's not a slight at Dominguez whatsoever. I just think Caballero has more ways and more chances to bleep up a game.
Right.
He could just get in and cause havoc and cause problems. And sometimes in playoff games, you need that.
But it would be great if both of them did because they both run really well.
And Dominguez has a chance to. I mean, no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew William 87 says, general baseball question, why do catchers call games for pitchers instead of the pitcher calling their own game?
Well, you're seeing some pitchers call their own game. Devin Williams does.
And that's catchers calling the game really hasn't been a full-time thing since really the early 90s. A lot of David Cone called his own games. Andy Pettitte called his own games. Now, catchers for Pettitte would put a suggestion down, but Pettitte had the final word every single time. So yeah, no, it's not really. And Devin Williams calls his own game. Bednar calls his own game. So Yeah, it is not really a thing. It does seem like it, but no, it's not really a thing that catchers really do anymore. Believe it or not.
Yeah. Casey Cotreau, 70-50. Who do you think deserves to be re-signed during the offseason to this point? Who do you think does not deserve to be re-signed during the offseason to this point?
Deserves? They're going to have to make a really tough decision. I don't think it's a tough decision, but it's going to be one for them. It's definitely Grisham or Bellinger.
Right.
Bellinger's going to get paid, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get north of $30 million a year, I think.
Yeah, he's having a good walk season.
Great walk season, I would say. Great. Yeah. Who deserves to not get paid? Devin Williams.
Yeah.
And don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's true. All right, coming up, more Fan Mail Friday questions from our YouTube viewers, and we preview the pitching matchups for the rest of the series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Not only do we cover your team every day, but now we're giving you instant updates after every single game. Check out the Locked On Yankees postcast, hosted by Jay Berman, right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed, as well as streaming on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast.
Stacey, let's start it off with Ambitious Monk here. He says, hi, Brian and Stacey. Ambitious Monk playing manager again. Should Jose Caballero be considered the starting shortstop moving forward? I have been a staunch critic of Mr. Volpe since last year because he's treated like the second coming of Derek Jeter, which he clearly isn't. I moved to put Volpe into the middle infield, bench platoon status, and give Caballero a proper shot at causing havoc around the bases. Thoughts? Thanks. No chance.
No.
No chance. They can't. Sure. They can't. And also, I'll say this, Ambitious Monk, be careful what you wish for. I don't think Caballero is considered an everyday player. Right. I don't think the Yankees consider him that, and I don't think the Rays do either, because the Rays traded him away for a bucket of baseballs. Right. So I don't think they considered him that either. They would have kept him. The fact that the Rays let him walk, if he was a full-time everyday shortstop better than an everyday player, there's no chance the Rays would have let a player like that walk. They know what they're doing when it comes to trading guys. Yeah. Also, the Yankees are fully invested in Anthony Volpe. They can't afford to do that. There's no way they would do it. I understand your criticism of him. I also wanted to say this really quickly. And Volpe has not had a good year, and I'll be the first to tell you that. The comparison that we're guilty of this, that we as fans and the Yankees give him of Derek Jeter is so unfair to Anthony Volpe. Volpe hasn't played well this year, but comparing him to Derek Jeter is so unfair.
Who's comparing him to Derek Jeter?
Well, people do all the time say that oh, look at what Jeter did. Look at what Jeter was able to do. Look at Jeter's rookie year. It's so unfair to Anthony
No one's
Volpe.
going to be Derek Jeter.
Yeah, and you shouldn't expect anyone to. Honestly, like no one is going to be him, and no one ever. He's debatably the best shortstop of all time. You're not going to see that ever again.
No,
like that kind of player. He's got six all-time in hits. The postseason career. No one. I'm not asking Anthony Volpe to be that. Nor am I expecting that.
Right. Colin Martin 7783. Happy Friday, Stacey, Brian, and listeners. I would like to point out is that Baseball Reference officially lists Giancarlo as a nickname for Giancarlo Stanton. I motion to use that going forward. Finally, Stacey or Brian, can you name the winningest manager in Yankees history? Thank you, Colin. Yes, I can.
I would say this too with the nicknames. You go on Baseball Reference and you see the nicknames that players have listed. They are names you've never heard a single soul call that player.
Right. I like Big G.
Yeah, I've heard that one. Giancarlo, I think I've heard once.
Right.
And no one calls him that. That's not joking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would guess it's got to be Torrey or Casey Stengel.
Nope. Joe McCarthy.
No. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was one of those guys.
They're the top three.
Years. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Aaron Boone is number 7 now.
Oh God. Don't let him get to the top 3.
Yeah. He's number 7 now, just so you know.
Scotty L99 says, has anyone ever played on a losing World Series team but still received a winner's ring because they played for the winners before they were traded at the trade deadline? Yes, this happened a few years ago with the Dodgers.
Oh.
Why can't I remember? I think it was Kike Hernandez. If I'm not mistaken, it was Kike Hernandez. The Dodgers traded him to the Red Sox. And the Red Sox, no, it was the other way around. He was with the Red Sox, got traded back to the Dodgers, and then the Red Sox put the Dodgers in the World Series, and the Red Sox won the World Series, and then he still got the ring as a Dodger.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. It was the thing a few years ago. Also, the Yankees have the only player of all time to win a World Series, to lose a World Series and get the ring. Got a World Series MVP in the 1960 World Series with the Pirates.
Oh,
fun fact.
Oh,
just thought I'd throw that in there.
All right, we have our last question from Jesus. Hey guys, you both had trouble with my name, LOL. I'll explain it. My name is actually James. Zeus is the name of my cat, so I made it Jesus, but misspelled it and was too lazy to ever change it, so now people say it wrong, and it's so funny I've never changed it. Jesus, how dare you? Anyway, my question is, as of Wednesday morning, the Yankees hold the first wild card. Do you think there's still a chance at the division?
100%.
The way they played on Thursday night. No, I'm kidding. There is. Of course there is, because there's still a month and a half left. They have a pretty light schedule past this series, and the Blue Jays have fallen off a bit, and I think there's always a chance. They're not that far out.
They're 4.5 back.
Yeah.
As we speak right now on Friday morning. They're 4.5.
Yeah. So
it's very much in play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you know what? I would even say this if it were September 1st, because there's still enough time with 4 weeks left to make up 4 games.
I would say it with 2 weeks left in the season.
Yeah. Oh, hi. What did the Phillies do to the Mets that one famous year in the mid 2000s? It was 2 weeks.
7. The Mets were up 7 games with 17 to play.
Yeah.
And blew the division lead. It can happen. Trust me.
Yep.
Stacey, really quickly, just to go over the rest of the weekend. To Friday night's game later on tonight, it'll be a 7:05 start. It's a prime video game. It'll be Brian Bayo, 9-6, 3.23 ERA, going with Max Fried, 13-5 with a 3.26. Let's see if he can bounce back. He really needs a bounce back performance the way he's pitched lately. Saturday's going to be a yes game, 105. Garrett Crochet, he's 13-5 with a 2.43. He's also got 196 strikeouts on the year, so he's looking to get his 200th of the year in Yankee Stadium. He'll go up against Will Warren, who's 7-5 with a 4.25, but has pitched really well of late. And then Sunday will be an ESPN game, 7 p.m. Dustin May, who's 7-9 with a 4.59, will oppose Carlos Rodon, who's 13-7 with a 3.24. He's got 169 nice strikeouts on the year. We'll see if he can get to 200. I really hope he does. It means a lot to me. It probably means a lot, not a lot to a lot of other people, but I want to see him get 200 strikeouts. I
would like to say, why were we subjected to a Fox game on Thursday night? I had it muted most of the time, but at one point I unmuted it. It was 4-3 Red Sox, and John Smoltz said one of the most profound things I've ever heard from a baseball broadcaster. Someone has a chance to win this.
Yep. I mean,
wow, John.
It's what you get.
It's unbelievable.
You know what's funny is, just quickly, I loved Joe Buck on the baseball broadcasts. To me, when you heard Joe Buck's voice when a game started, it meant it was a big game. He had that big game voice, and not hearing him on baseball stinks. The fact that he doesn't want to do it anymore just stinks. I mean, he deserves the time off, but why did we need John Smoltz on a Yankee? Like he sounded like he didn't want to be there on a Thursday night.
He always sounds like he doesn't want to be there, especially.
And we didn't need him there either.
No,
I don't get, like, I don't. He's contractually obligated to do a playoff game. I totally get it. Why is he there for a game in August on a Thursday night?
I say this all the time. Well, it was him and Joe Davis because it's like the national game, so they did it on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night baseball.
I don't understand why Fox thinks it's okay to have a man who played baseball trash the current game of baseball every single time he does a broadcast. Every single time he does it. How is this going to bring more people to watching baseball if you have someone who's not happy about how baseball's played?
It comes across as grumpy old man.
Put David Cohn on the national broadcast. Get him off ESPN. Get him off the ESPN talk show on Sunday nights and put him in the Fox booth so we can hear his wisdom and not John Smoltz complaining about baseball all the time. It's enough.
Not sign with Fox.
It's enough. It's ridiculous. I can't take it. And, you know, the Yankees, I know they play 96 highlights just to get them riled up, but they should really play, if they could find them, the highlights of when he gave up 8 runs against them in 2009 and then he was released by the Red Sox like a week later. How about play that? They effectively ended his career. So you should play those highlights just to really get him going. There's my suggestion. All right, well, thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. You get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. I just got distracted by my cat. I apologize. You will see Brian on Sunday night's edition of MLB Game Night from Vegas.
Yes.
So that should be fun. And you'll see him from Vegas on our show for Monday also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hopefully breaking down a 3-1 Yankees series victory.
Let's hope so. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys next week.